brother, sister, can you hear that? Our heartbeat.
So to start off, I am priming my eyes with my Tarte Shape Tape, and I am setting that with my Kat Von D translucent powder. And then the first transition shade that I'm using is Cupcake by Makeup Geek. So I'm using about 3 transition shades for this look. I know it's a lot, but it took a lot to get that really sort of gradient purple effect throughout my crease. So the first color is Cupcake, and then Petal Pusher, also by Makeup Geek, and I'm just applying that straight on top of that first shadow. So now that we've got the lighter transition shades down, we can go in with Bossy from the Huda Beauty palette, which is a bit of a deeper purple, and that is going to start to create that base for the cut crease so it really stands out. And then I'm using this gorgeous purple shade from my Natasha Denona palette. I don't even know what the palette's called because they don't have names, but I will list the name down below from that particular palette. And then you want to make sure it's all blended together. And then to add that darkness to my outer corner, I'm using this deep purple shade from the Meet Matte Trimony palette, which is by The Balm. And I'm just packing that all on my outer V. And then to cut the crease, I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape yet again and my Sigma Cut Crease brush. And you just want to make sure you're very, very precise, because if you bring it up too high, it could wreck your whole look and just be a complete disaster. So I always make sure I start small and very gradiently start to bring it higher until I get my desired height for the cut crease. And then you can blend that over the top of that outer color. And before you blend it in, I like to set it with a white eyeshadow or any eyeshadow, but I set it with white so that the shade that I put on top stands out more. So once you've set that, you can then blend in the outer corner in with the inner sort of area. And I'm using all the transition shades that I used on my lid to blend that outer corner in with the lid. And then I'm using this gorgeous duochrome shade from Makeup Geek called Phantom, and it's just a really pretty lilac duochrome. And I feel like this particular shadow really set the look off. You do have to pack it on a few times. It's not that pigmented, but once you get that pigmentation to your desired effect, as you can see, it looks amazing. And then I just used a bit of this glitter from BH Cosmetics on the line of the cut crease, and it just looked so freaking amazing. And then I set that with my, I think it was candy glitter or something like that, any silver glitter to sort of intensify it. And then I used a white shadow to highlight my brow bone and just to blend that transition shade all together. So whenever I do a cut crease, I love to create that sharp line with my shadow, so I'm just using a makeup wipe to do that. And guys, I finally got the NYC liquid liner, and it is definitely as amazing as everyone says it is. Didn't believe it, but now I do. So I'm using that eyeliner to create a really nice big wing, which this brush actually makes it so easy. I usually struggle with these liquid eyeliners, but this made it so easy. And then whatever you mess up, you just use that same wipe to clean up your wing and create a really nice sharp tip. Then I'm just applying my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara before applying my false lashes. And for falsies, I'm using Lily Lashes in Miami, and these just looked so good with the look because you can still see through them. And when you do a cut crease, you want to be able to see through your lashes so you can see all of your gorgeous work, especially that glitter. So this was my first time trying this primer, and I forgot the brand of it, but I'll list it down below. It's a coconut primer, and my makeup sat so beautifully on top of it. It smells great and it feels great on your skin, and I would definitely continue to use this primer. So for foundation, I'm using my Milani Conceal and Perfect, which is actually my favorite foundation at the moment. I've had this for a while, but I didn't use it. But guys, this is a $10 foundation, and you will see in a minute, if you haven't already seen reviews on it, how amazing this foundation really is. And I like to use my Real Techniques sponge to blend in liquid foundation, and then whenever I'm wearing like a cream or a stick foundation, I usually tend to use like a dense packing brush to blend out my foundation. So at the moment for concealer, I love mixing the Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Custard. And my concealer was running out. I was like so upset. But I did order a new one and it has arrived. So problem solved. So in one of my last videos, I didn't realize, but my concealer was so light on camera. So I made sure that I went in with one a little bit darker so that did not happen again. I know some of you last time were pulling me up that my concealer was really light, and with all the lights shining on it, you couldn't really tell in reality, and it did shine more in the video. So I fixed that and it won't be happening again, and I'm sorry. Please, please forgive me. And then I like to just get like a small domed brush just to blend in the inner corner of my eye so that I don't get the foundation on my eyelashes or on any of my eyeshadow. And I'm just blending over it to make sure it is all blended together. And then to cream contour, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal. And at the moment I'm using the Toast color. I used to use Beautiful Bronze, but I found Toast was so much easier to blend with my skin tone and it wasn't as harsh. So I'm using Toast to contour my nose. As usual, it's pretty much always my product of choice. I mean, I do have other products, but this is definitely my go-to. So I'm going back in with my Kat Von D translucent powder, first along the sides of my nose to cancel out any dark lines, and then I use it to set the entire space of my face. I legit put it everywhere. I know a lot of people only apply it under the eyes, but for me, I find that my face looks more flawless and stays more matte when I apply my translucent powder all over my face. And for anyone that's kind of just applying it under the eyes, I highly recommend putting it all over your face because your makeup will not move at all day and it'll look super flawless. Now at first it does make you look a little bit more white, but once you've added your bronzer and you've applied your setting spray, it just all settles in and a lot of color does come back to your face. So I thought that was just worth mentioning because I know a lot of people are a bit afraid to apply it all over their face, but I promise you it is okay and it looks incredible. And I'm just using my Australis banana powder to wipe off the translucent powder under my eyes so that it gives me a little bit of extra coverage and my dark circles do not come through. And then I'm going back in with that gorgeous purple shade, and as you could see from that little thumbnail, I really love that shade. It just makes me feel so freaking fierce and sexy. I just love it. I know it's weird, but if there's one color that makes me feel so sexy, it is purple eyeshadow. And then I decided to add black into my waterline to make the look extra sort of fierce. So I used my Inglot 77 gel liner, which is what I usually use for my wing, but the NYC liner, I replaced that today. And then for mascara, I'm just using the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir, which is what I use on top. And as you guys know, I love to pack my bottom mascara on because I feel like it just makes my eyes look so much bigger and nicer. So that is what I'm doing right now. So for a lot of looks, I choose not to cream contour. So what I like to do lately is applying the MAC Refined Golden and just warming up my face. So it's not really deep enough to contour, but it just warms up my face. And then I usually like to just contour over it with a matte contouring powder. And I feel like my face just looks so much more flawless when I do this as opposed to cream contouring. But for nighttime, I love to cream contour, but for a daytime look, I really just love a bit of bronzing and powder contouring. And I use the Benefit Hoola bronzer to contour for this look. And then I'm just going back in with my Kat Von D translucent powder, and I'm cleaning up under the contour so it's nice and sharp and clean. And then for blush, I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay 24-hour blush, and I forgot the color. I have like 20 of this blush, so I forget which shade's which, so I'll list it down below. And my favorite concealer, my favorite highlighter ever is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey, which is nothing new to you guys. I'm really trying to find another holy grail, but I have a lot of good highlighters, but honestly, I'm very, very confident that nothing is going to come close to my Gilded Honey. So if there's another product that I use and abuse way too much for my own good, it is the YSL number 13 lip liner, which is what I'm using to line my lips. I do find that this shade, no matter what sort of pinky nude you use, it just blends so well with it. So that is the reason why I just always use this lip liner, because I know it's never ever going to let me down. And I'm just swiping away that bake under my contour because it is nice and cut now. And then I'm using the NYX Lip Lingerie in the color Satin Ribbon, which is a really pretty baby pink color. And I think it really complemented the purple shades in my eyes. I feel like I needed something really light and neutral so that the focus was all on the eyes and the lips were nice and subtle. And when I do such a light lip, I just like to make sure I'm adding a little bit more definition back over with the lip liner so that it's not too nude and it doesn't wash me out. And then I'm just flipping my hair back and I'm just setting my face with my Peach Slay All Day setting spray, which is my fave. And then I'm just using my sponge to press it in and make sure there's no like blobs and spots, and to make sure my makeup is nice and melted together. So that is it for this purpley glittery cut crease. I hope you enjoyed watching something different on my channel. I know I enjoyed filming it, so make sure to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Making memories in motion with the traces of the chosen.